Hey guys.
What's going on, guys? It's Heath and Tracy live from the Love Seat. Come on in, have a sit down with us. It's the Love Seat with Heath and Tracy.
Okay. I think they heard us. My goodness.
If this is the first time you're seeing Tracy now, we are relationship strategists specializing in premarital preparedness and intramarital improvement. We want you married and motivated.
Who are you?
I'm Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
Welcome to the Love Seat, guys. We are in our third installation. This week we are talking about the most important aspect that you can have as a spouse in a relationship today, according to many specialists, psychologists.
What's that? We talking about self-awareness again?
You got to have some self-awareness out here, Tracy.
Okay.
But today,
Okay.
we are talking about self-awareness in the space of how does Heath and Tracy leverage self-awareness in their relationship to be better.
After 28 years of marriage.
28 and 1/2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Give me my recognition out here. June 16th.
What about mine?
June 16th.
He's not as perfect as he would like to believe. Y'all.
In our Lord's year of 2019, Queen Tracy and I will have been married for 29 years.
Wow. Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
So that's what's going on. And during the course of those years, trust and believe there has been some self-awareness deployed.
Had to be.
Because if you don't understand yourself, it's very difficult to get someone else to understand you.
It is.
And if you don't understand their perspective of themselves, how can you understand them?
Preach.
And if you are working together in this symbiotic relationship that we call marriage, how in the world are you going to elevate and have a joyfully married after experience if you don't know who you are and who you got?
And it's not too late. Even if you've been in a marriage for a while, you can still deploy self-awareness.
True.
You can still deploy it.
So we want to talk about a little bit of how we deploy it, how we do it.
Woo, we gonna get personal here, y'all.
People ask us all the time, how do you do it? I mean, we probably got that question for 10, 15 years before we ever started creating content and going down this road.
No, the question I get is, you got 4 kids all from the same dude? Yeah.
No, but I'm saying in addition to that,
Yeah.
people looked at us, or they would see us. When the kids were younger, they would see us going through Sam's Club or Costco with the flatbed, and they go, "How much was it?"
Every single time, people want to know how much you spend. You don't want to know. That's what we would tell them.
Y'all do that all the time. Y'all must got a store.
No, the store is called The House with the 4 kids, and that's when the kids were little.
Oh my God!
But we're gonna get personal today. We're gonna talk.
You gonna get that personal now?
Watch. We're gonna talk a little bit about
Put my business in the street.
like it ain't in the street already.
Go ahead.
It's just so. You're just gonna get so deep on Heath, you guys.
People know.
They not. No, I'll probably divulge more than Heath because I'm the talker.
You have that disease too?
No.
Did I give it to you?
I think you did.
The chronic loquacious diarrhea or dysentery is apparently contagious. Because Tracy got it now.
Oh no.
We were listening to the podcast earlier, like one of the previous podcasts, and she was like, "Baby, you got to talk more."
And that's all he did was laugh. That's all he did.
Because y'all see it. Y'all see it, right?
What?
They see it, baby. They know.
I was surprised. Somebody ran into us in the grocery store today, and they had seen one of our videos. They're like, "Oh my God, are you Heath and Tracy?" And we were like, "Yeah."
We moved to North Carolina because of y'all.
You what? And I had to like switch because I was really like looking at my grocery cart, trying to figure out what I was gonna cook for dinner tonight. And then these people walk up, so I had to like switch. And I was like, and I had to be, I had to.
You had to go to your celebrity mode. Tracy's like, "Oh, I I forgot I'm a celebrity out here.
No, I'm not a celebrity. Not even close.
Are you?
Not even close. But it was weird. It was a little weird, and it happens to us. But because I wasn't usually like we're at a grocery, and usually we're at like a restaurant, so you're a little different. But I was in the grocery store,
Right.
So I was just like, yeah. And why do you want to know? You know, it was just like kind of one of those weird. Okay, what's it to you? You know, but it was cool. They were so sweet.
Yep, they work.
They were so sweet.
Very
and
cool.
Just very, very cool.
Yep.
And we wanted to say hi and thank you. We love you too. But back to, as y'all can see, we're kind of like
What?
hesitating a little bit. Are we
hesitating?
procrastinating? Talking about our self-awareness of ourselves and how we deploy it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay,
we're
then you
procrastinating.
go.
I
Then
think
you-
we're just talking.
Then you go.
Well, people in our audience know that you know
What?
that I am the coolest, easiest going, most laid back dude that you know.
So we going there.
I'm aware. Are you aware? Because you have to understand who it is that you're with. So, are you aware?
I know you're very cool. I know.
Lay back,
Very cool. He's very aware of that too.
calm, and collected.
Sometimes a little too cool.
Yeah. Why?
It is. It is. It's a little too cool.
Which is something you have to be aware of.
Right.
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 Right. And I have to be aware of that myself. So that's a great point. I think that we should start talking about is over time, I had to have some yin and yang with you.
Yeah.
Where I had to step up my game sometimes, where my default was to be more laid back.
Yeah.
And what I learned early in our marriage was that that's not always appropriate.
No.
That there's a time and a place for everything. And even though my internal mechanism is to be cool, what I had to learn sometimes is that there are life scenarios where you got to step your game up.
Yes.
You have to get some fire under you. My mom used to say, "Child, you ain't gonna never die no heart attack because you don't get in a hurry about nothing."
He doesn't. He still doesn't. But you should see him. When I say, "Baby, you moving a little. Come on, pick it up," and then he leaves me. So there's no in between here.
Yeah, because that's the passive aggressive guy.
Yes,
You're right.
he's very passive aggressive.
So I'm going too slow. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, and then I got to deal with that.
Yeah, but I am even keel, and I think that sometimes when people are young in their relationship, they might not even realize that the person that they're into is in many ways opposite of them. And the old adage of opposites attract, I think that there's a lot of validity to that.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't recognize that that's not something that you're looking for naturally. Going, man, I need to find somebody that's the exact opposite of me, right? Usually people
No, you usually don't like those people.
Right.
You're like, oh, they're irritating. Oh, I don't like them. Oh, no, they talk too much. Oh,
But I'm saying,
you don't like them.
I think that people typically will look for things that they have in common with other people, things that remind them of themselves or their background, or they look for more similarities than they do for differences. And I think that subconsciously, what happens is there's a default mechanism that goes to finding people that are actually complementary of you in terms of what you are naturally.
Right. What it's like weakness, strength, and weakness.
Right. And that's one of the beauties of marriage, I think, that a lot of people miss.
It is.
Is that when you match your strengths with my strengths, then we're just strong.
Exactly.
And
And you let them deploy that, and you let them use that, and you let them be themselves in that.
Right. Because I think what happens sometimes is that people get caught up on identifying the differences and harping on those and jumping on those.
Yeah.
And that can have the exact opposite effect, because you're always talking about the differences. You're always pointing out the differences, and that's not very productive.
Nope.
Whereas there are so many beautiful things about you that are complementary to what's beautiful about me, and as we march forward, it enhances everything that we do.
We're nothing alike.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever realized that, but we're nothing alike. You know.
You're a little alike, baby.
I mean, we have like values and things like that. But what's something else? What's another point of self-awareness that you deploy?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I understand that, like we talked about, I'm the opposite of you.
Okay.
And so one of the things that I understand is that if you are boiling, if there's something happening within you that's irritating you,
Okay.
that I understand that my innate ability to be cool through whatever is happening is exactly what's needed in that moment. And so that's one of the things that we're talking about that's the opposite of what we just got done discussing.
Right.
Where you brought me up in many instances. I think that's one of the scenarios where I bring you down.
Yeah.
And so it's an example of us being complementary of one another and moving forward, as opposed to having these swings of irrational behavior. Right? I'm too laid back. I'm too slow. When you got some serious stuff happening, and you got to wake up and step up and move forward. Hey, this needs your attention in a more succinct and quick way.
Yeah.
And you might be flying off the handle or really boiling over about something, and I might have to say to you, baby, it's cool.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine. We're gonna work through that. And on the other side, it's going to be cool. So don't worry about it. Let me take care of it.
So his main self-awareness that he knows about is that he's just cool. He just, whatever it is, he's just going to be cool.
That was a Morris Day song, right? Girl, I'm so cool. Cool.
Ain't nobody
better like me. Sing it, Tracy.
Cool. We always sing, y'all. Sorry about that. Anything else?
I think that me being sort of a visionary,
dreamer.
I think that me being a dreamer, being a visionary, is that I recognize that I recognize that I'm not the one who is going to jump in and deal with the nuts and bolts of everything.
Now, this is something it took us a long time to figure out.
Now, was that because we had some trial and error in that way?
I think we did.
Okay, so let's do XYZ prior. Can you clean the garage out? Okay, so,
y'all don't want to see my basement.
We should do this
my
over
basement.
Here. Maybe we should design something over here in this corner, and maybe it can be just a beautiful wall of shelving there, and then this area. Baby, did you clean the basement? Did you clean the garage out?
Can we do the first thing?
Can we just do this first section?
Yeah. So I have to agree with this one. Maybe I was more aware of it than he was.
I wasn't aware. It was a piece of self-awareness that I was not.
But you know what? I do want to say that when I called you a dreamer, you didn't you didn't say, "What do you mean?" You didn't get all. What you say? You talking about? He didn't do that.
Right.
It was received because it was given with love. It was given in love and just a movement to, baby, I get you.
Yeah.
I understand you. I accept you the way you are. It's cool.
Right.
So, but I came up with that word because that's what it is.
Yeah.
He is a dreamer.
Right.
I'm not so much of a dreamer.
Right.
I am, here comes some self-awareness for me.
Okay.
I am a doer.
Yep. That's the
I
truth.
do.
That's
I execute.
Yep.
I implement. I facilitate.
And I'm like, wait, baby, what? If you would have just taken a second to think about this and so and so, you wouldn't have made that one error over there. And so
Error? Who makes errors? That's another thing. I think I know everything. Any of my close friends would tell you, "Come on, Tracy, we know you think you know everything."
Which is fine because I can take care of it after the fact.
He does. Are we still talking about you?
No, we talking about
Does
us.
he know that about himself?
We talking about 1 + 1 = 3. Because when you marry, your life is 3 times better.
It really is, guys.
That's
it
right.
really is. And that's all we're trying to show you and talk about.
Right.
Another thing that I'm aware of about myself is that I am a hothead.
No.
I am that chick.
Stop saying that, Tracy.
Okay, I need to stop saying that. No, that's who I am. That's who I am.
Without-
I will lose my cool. I
What?
have none.
What? You have a little bit.
I do?
It's developed more over the years.
Oh, well, thank you, baby.
But I think that that's something that I really had to understand and learn during the course of our relationship, because
What did you have to learn?
How to handle you popping your top and not really understanding that it wasn't what's the word I want? It wasn't mean. It wasn't
Michelle says she a closet hothead.
Really?
Ain't no such thing, girl.
Closet hothead.
How you a closet hothead?
What I was saying was it wasn't malicious.
No, it's never malicious. And this
Right.
is what I do want to say about it.
Right.
I am not a hothead because of you.
Right.
I am a hothead because of your spirit or something within you or something that is done or an outcome. I very rarely get angry or upset with the person. I'm a child of God, and I look at you that way, whether you believe it or not. I have to throw that in there.
Namaste.
Okay. So if you are doing something that is getting me to the point of getting upset, I'm not mad at you.
Right.
And the way you know I'm not mad at you is because it's gone. I lose it. I let you know what's going on, and then it's over. And then we can go have a cup of tea.
Right.
A spot of tea.
And what I had to learn about that.
Only hubby gets to eat, Michelle? Oh, come on, girl.
But see, let's
talk about that. Let's talk about that.
That's a great point that Michelle has made. I want to come back to that in just a second. But I was just going to say that one of the things that I learned over the course of time was that when you are blowing your top about something, it usually is connected to something that I did or something that I didn't do.
Because I'm a no-nonsense kind of chick.
And
that's my other self-awareness.
And so for me, I had to develop the self-awareness piece of understanding back to me being so cool is that sometimes you have to execute. Sometimes you have to have enough self-awareness to know, okay, I procrastinate a little more than I should with X, Y, and Z. So I really need to make an extra point to execute on this particular thing so that I don't have to irritate my wife unnecessarily, which is going to have a ripple effect on the pleasant vibe of the house next weekend because she asked me to do this by X, Y, and Z time.
Okay.
And so I think that that's a great learning for some people is that you're not popping your top because you just like to pop your top.
No.
Right? And so these things...
You're right. The person closest to you.
These things are important to have the self-awareness on both sides so that you understand how to navigate this better. Now, I think that Michelle is making an excellent point is that usually the closest people to you are the ones who feel the brunt of when those things happen.
But we have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
We have to. I know that I'm that way. I know how I'm built. I know I'm somewhat of a no nonsense, get it done, no BS kind of person. And I know how laid back my husband is.
Yeah.
So because I'm aware of that, I really, really work on pulling down that anger. And so he probably gets it the least because this is my partner. This is my love. If I don't want to hurt or affect anybody, it's him. So I have learned, and it's something that I've had to learn. I have learned that when it comes to him, he doesn't get the brunt of it. He can see it, he can sense it, he understands it. And at the same time, I can too, but I make an extra effort not to give it to him.
Right.
The kids, not so much.
And I think that
Let's just be honest.
And I think the other point that Michelle is making is excellent from the perspective of that the person that you spend the most time with knows how to push your buttons.
Yeah, they do.
And so what you have to do is develop have that personal development to understand that goes back to always wanting to be right or always wanting to prove a point. And so if I'm engaged in a conversation with you and you are, I see that you're right about something, but I want to, the physical piece inside of me wants to have the last word or wants to make my point.
Yeah, what kind of baby?
And so therefore, I want to dig a little into you. And when you get accustomed to doing it that way, then that really breeds the contempt, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
And I think that for me, what I've learned to do is to be more sacrificial over time because I recognize that that's you. You're going to pop your top and you're going to say what you're going to say, and it's going to happen. And whether I think that you're right or wrong, or whether I think that it was uncalled for, or whether I think that you went overboard, what I've learned to do is to let it go. And eventually, if you understand that you were wrong or that you went a little overboard, you'll apologize about that later.
Yeah.
And I've come to know and understand that and respect that about you. And so that enables me to let it ride when it's happening, where the kids may not understand what's going on.
They don't.
Because they've been married for 28 plus years.
And it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter with them. But with him, and if I do get to that point, I do pop my top and I do take it out on him, I make it a point to really make it up to him. Because that is not where I want to be in this. You don't want your partner resenting you, because some partners will just hold it in. You know, they won't say anything. They'll be hurt by it, but they won't say anything. They won't address it because they know, well, she knows how she is, or he knows how he is. Why does he keep doing that? Or why does she keep doing that? So what you have to do is understand that, but counteract with that.
Right.
Don't be prideful to the point where, well, he knows me or she knows me and they just take my junk anyway.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't take your partner for granted like that. And like he said, what I do when those times happen is I say, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm stressed out about this or that. And that's not an excuse, but I am so sorry I came at you like that. It was wrong. And I really, I don't want to do that to us. And you really have to look at it as us hurting us.
Right.
That's how you have to begin to look at it. You have to say, you're hurting us.
Yeah. And that used to amuse me sometimes, because you would say something like, well, I'm not gonna do so-and-so because you said it. I'm like, baby, what? That's just hurting. It's not hurting me.
Yeah.
That means that we're not gonna accomplish X, Y, and Z of what we said we were gonna do.
Right.
So I mean, you got the attitude, but I mean, okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's boy, we got to 28 years. It was rough, wasn't it? The way we describe it.
Yeah.
Another thing about me that I'm self-aware of is I just don't like mediocrity. I don't like it. I don't have a mediocre bone in my body.
Yep.
I might have an hour's worth of mediocre a day going on. That's the way I look at it. And I usually deploy it when I'm by myself or something. But it's been a challenge for me to accept it in others. And when I say in others, I mean in my partner and with my children. And to the point where they've said something to me. They'd be like, I'm not you. I'm not Tracy Turner. I've had my kids say that to me. And it's like a light bulb. And my mother was sitting, when I was having this conversation with one of the kids over the holidays, and my mother was like, I told you you're a little heavy. I'm not a tiger mom or anything like that. I just expect excellence at all times. I'm one of those persons that's like, if you gonna do it like this. What is it that I say? Cancel your subscription to mediocrity.
Yes.
And whenever I say that, the kids just, really, are we going here? We just hung up with the girls. They just called us to tell us they had a pleasant dinner with somebody. That's all they called for. And I'm on, did you do it? And they're like, that's all we called you about. Bye. And it's just, I don't get to talk to my kids. So I have to work on that. Because this is not cool. So that's when you start deploying self-awareness about those things that get on the nerves, especially of the person that you love. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the one-on-one relationship that you're having.
Right.
And we're talking about how to continuously improve that. And it's a daily act. People are like, I'm dying to self, or you got to be selfish, you got to be selfless, Okay, well, if you're going to do that, these are some of the ways that you do that. It's just not that hard. And it starts with love. It starts with loving the relationship, loving that other person. If you start there and you say, well, that wasn't cool what I did, but let me fix it.
Yeah. It's a process, right?
It is a process.
As long as we've been together, and as many things as we've learned, we still work on things. There's no perfection, right? It's just all about the journey. And getting a little better every day, being more and more cognizant of the person you love, the person you're with, and just wanting to continue to make it better and better. So it's daily practice.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Daily practice of joyfully married after.
That's right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We love coming to you live. I was telling Heath, I look forward to this every Sunday night. And we're going to have one more installation of
Monday.
self. What did I say?
I think you said something.
I don't know.
It's cool.
I don't know what day it is. It's
cool.
Monday night, but
Monday
it's
night.
every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern.
The Love Seat.
And if you miss it, you just catch it on the replay on
Yes,
either
ma'am.
Facebook or Instagram Live.
Yep.
And also, don't forget to check out Joyfully Married After. Yeah, I'm giving you a laundry list. Write it down.
YouTube.
We everywhere. Just put in Heath and Tracy on the internet, and
Check out-
come up.
Check out the podcast.
Joyfully Married After.
Joyfully Married After.
Yeah, and
Tweet us out
don't forget.
at Heath and Tracy TV. Don't forget to stay connected. Stay connected to God. Stay connected to your family. And stay connected to your spouse.
Or your significant other.
HeathandTracy.com. Love y'all. See you next week on the Love Seat.
How do you stop this one?